So I pulled this out of an old slide deck, and it's not entirely current, but this is, I think, probably the closest I have to something I can throw up that talks about how HP thinks about the Debian project. What it's really all about is this notion that we want to be able to deliver open source functionality to our customers, even when that functionality isn't necessarily available yet in commercial distributions. This slide is from the era when we were pushing hard to get the initial releases of some of our Itanium 2 based servers out, and customers who wanted to do early software development on those systems under Linux had a hard time because the commercial distributions, which most of them told us they really wanted to run in the end, hadn't made very useful releases yet of their distributions for that architecture. And so there was a sort of time to market issue where we had things that we had made work that were sort of asynchronous with the release schedules for the commercial distributions. And if we wanted to help customers succeed in doing Linux-related development work in that time window between when we made things work and when they would show up in a commercial distribution, we needed some way to do that. When we talk about delivering open source functionality, HP continues to really not be interested in developing or delivering or maintaining our own distribution or trying to create a competitor to the existing commercial distributions. Quite the contrary, we work very strongly with the leading commercial distributions, and in fact when we go to market with customers in enterprise spaces, we go to market with those distributions pretty regularly, and we have very strong development and business relationships with them. But we are interested in delivering valuable open source functionality that's desired by our customers, whether commercial distributions are prepared to do that or not. So this really sort of leads us into this situation where we find ourselves using Debian often to deliver things that are either not yet available or unlikely to become available from our commercial distribution partners. And participation in Debian has really become a primary vehicle for HP to be directly involved in the larger open source and Linux development community to try and influence areas that are important to the company. And this happens because Debian is such a wonderful proxy for the larger open source community. It's a big enough project that, and it incorporates enough software in the Debian packaging and distribution system that almost anything that you might need to hack on to make some new system that we want to ship work is either something where Debian already has a relationship with an upstream maintainer that we can sort of take advantage of by working through the Debian bug tracking system and related mechanisms to get changes pushed up, or it can just provide a good way for us to try things out before we go try to push them into, further upstreams with X or the kernel or whatever.